but hopefully this records better being over here. For some reason, the recording's getting kind of fuzzy. I don't know if it's set up too high or something. But VonHELLton is here making false claims about me, accusing me of being a stolen valor when he's a stolen valor, and I can prove it. I got proof. He just talking out of his ass. As you will see, I'll show you clips of him talking out of his ass. Old stinky boy.
Show my DD-214. Oh, you mean the DD-214 that says under honorable conditions? That DD-214? They say, oh, well, you got an RE3, you got an RE3. Yeah, but if you look at the comment section, it says under honorable conditions.
You're laughing because you're showing how stupid you are. It isn't a comment section. That is the discharge you got. You got under honorable conditions. I got an honorable discharge, as you claim I didn't, but I did. And you claim you got an honorable discharge in previous videos that I've shown. If people go through my VonHELLton Stolen Valor videos, you'll find several videos where VonHELLton claims to have an honorable discharge. Under honorable conditions is just a fancy name for a general discharge. It's just one step up above a dishonorable discharge, and that's all it is. It's nothing but a gold-painted turd. It's not an honorable discharge. There's nothing honorable about it.
RE3 back in the 1980s does not mean the same thing it means today.
Bullshit detected. Take precautions.
Yes, that's bullshit. The current system you and I both got discharged under was established in 1950. They've been using the same code since 1950. They have a different form now, I think, but it's still the same codes. And those codes may go back to 1919. I was looking them up on the internet and I found different dates, but the newest date that I found was 1950. They also have one from 1949. There were some changes to it. And in 1919 was when they established the DD-214. So you're bullshitting, VonHELLton. You're trying to cover up your failure.
RE3 back then was different. It had a different meaning than what it means today. Get it through your heads, people. Yes, you're right. Today, an RE3 means a washout. Back in the 80s, when I was in, it did not mean a washout.
Oh, yes, it did.
And in fact, on my DD-214, it clearly says, under honorable conditions.
Under honorable conditions is a gold-painted turd. That's all it is. If honorable discharge is gold, under honorable conditions is a turd painted gold to look like an honorable discharge. That's all it is. It isn't honorable discharge. Sorry about your luck.
Now, why would they write that on my discharge, or on my DD-214, if I was a washout? Well, they wouldn't.
That was bullshit.
Fact is, that's exactly what they'd put on there if you're a washout. They'd put a general discharge. That's what they give to washouts. And under honorable conditions, it's just a general discharge. Yes, that is true. Sorry about your luck.
Okay. So no, I'm not a washout. Sorry about your luck. And besides, if I was a washout, how'd I end up getting my first permanent duty station, which was Fort Hood? How did I get that?
Let me explain that to you, Lucy. You see, you got your permanent duty station, and that's where you washed out. You can wash out going to 2 or 3 duty stations and wash out. You can wash out in boot camp, you can wash out in AIT, and you can wash out once you get to your permanent duty station, as you did. That's just how it happened. Sorry about your luck.
But what I would rather talk about is Darren Morrison, who was in the military for 6 fucking years and only came out as an E2.
Well, stinky boy, if you look here, it's 02, which is February of 89, and then I got out in 93, and it says 06, which is June. I had a few more months, but I got out early because I saved up my leave and got out 2 months early. I was supposed to do a little extra time because it was during Desert Storm. My enlistment was extended. But as you can see, it's pretty much 4 years and some change. Not 6 years as you claim. So there's a lie. I put this up before, so obviously you're making this shit up. You've already been rebutted on this, VonHELLton. And you're still carrying on the lie because you're trying to cover up your own failures by lying about me.
How does that work? He should have come out of the military as an E6 or an E7, not an E2. So Darren really is a washout.
Bullshit detected. Take precautions.
Okay, establish you lied. You told a lie, deliberate lie about how long I served and what my rank was when I got out. You said I was an E1. I'm going to cover up my social security number, and hopefully you can see this. I don't know. I can't. I got the paper in front there, so if you look, it says E3. I got out as an E3. I was supposed to be an E4, but I passed the test 4 months before getting out. They didn't let me go up rank unless I re-enlisted. So if I re-enlisted, I would have been an E4 automatically. But I was an E3 when I got out. Now, I've never claimed to be squared away. I was very good at my job as being a medic in the military, but I didn't have really good military bearing. And when I took the test the first time, I failed it because, dyslexic, I had a little hard time taking tests. Third time, I was in transition of going overseas, so I missed out on it. I got too many things to do, and I missed my date that I was supposed to go take my test. The third time, I told an officer to F off, and so I wasn't allowed to take the test. The fourth time, I took it, I passed it, but when the results came in, I had 4 months left, and I didn't get to go up in rank because I only had 4 months left. And they said, if you re-enlist, the moment you swear in to re-enlist, you're an E4. But I didn't re-enlist. I was going through a divorce at the time, didn't think re-enlistment was a good idea. See, at least I'm being honest about my military career, but not unlike VonHELLton, who lies his pants off about his military career. I got E3 after 4 years. I didn't get. Nobody in the military has ever served 6 years and got out as an E2. That doesn't happen. But somebody who, like VonHELLton, that doesn't know anything about the military, in his imaginary lying sack of shit mind, that would exist, I guess.
He really is stolen valor.
Bullshit level DEFCON 5.
How am I a stolen valor when I haven't lied about my military career, and you lied about your military career, and you lied about my military career? If anybody's a stolen valor, and somebody is, and it's not me, it's you, VonHELLton, you're the stolen valor. Look in the mirror when you accuse somebody of being a stolen valor, because the person looking back at you will be the stolen valor.
Because he's claiming to be this hua guy when all he was a fucking buck private.
I never claimed to be a hua guy, and I think you're a hua guy, I think. But anyway, I never made any false claims about my military service. You have, VonHELLton. Your civilian capacity, remember that one? That lie?
So Darren Morrison is the one who is stolen valor. Darren Morrison is the one who is an actual washout. He should have been at least an E6 when he come out of the military, guys.
Wow. You just woke up and rolled over in a whole pile of failure, didn't you? What a failure that is. You're such a liar about your military record that you have to take an honorably discharged veteran. Now, I didn't get honorable conditions. I got an honorable discharge, and you just stepped in a whole pile of failure right there, buddy. You just reek with failure right now.
Or an E7. He wasn't. He was only an E2.
I proved all my claims. Can you prove any of yours?
Darren Morrison is the real washout. Darren Morrison is the real stolen valor because he gets on his video saying he's this great guy in the military. He didn't do shit. He was a fucking buck private. He didn't do nothing except take orders.
Warning, bullshit alert.
Every claim I've made, I've proven. Over and over again, in multiple videos, I've proven every claim that I've ever made with my military career. Unlike you, I don't have to lie because I'm a big failure. VonHELLton, you're a valor thief and you're a failure. You're just...
And probably didn't do them very well, as according to his medical or his military record.
Why don't you look at my military record before you make comments about it, you sorry-ass sack of shit? You've never even took the time to look at my military record. You're just going off on Agent 19 has told you. You stupid sorry sack of shit, you big pussy. You're just so fucking stupid. I'm going to show you the rest of my DD-214 at the end of this video, and yours.
You don't serve 6 years in the military and come out as an E2? No, you do not. Sorry. So let's talk about Darren Morrison's military record. How about we talk about that?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's see me and your military career according to our DD-214s. Let's do that, VonHELLton.
However, what I will show you is that it says clearly on my DD-214 under honorable conditions.
And what mine says is honorable. Honorable discharge is an honorable discharge. Under honorable conditions is a gold-painted turd. It's not an honorable discharge. You got a general discharge. I got an honorable discharge.
It also states on there that my re-enlistment code is RE3.
If you look at my record, it says RE1. RE1 means I can re-enlist. They wanted me to re-enlist. They were practically begging me to re-enlist. But I was going through a nasty divorce, and I didn't at the time. I would have made a career out of the military, but I decided to go a different way. But you couldn't re-enlist. An RE code is your re-enlistment code, and you were one of the worst ones.
Now, the separation code there is JHJ.
Yeah, JHJ means you're a screw-up. You weren't fit for duty. If you see mine, let's see if I can get that lined up with there. LBK. That's pretty much the most common discharge in the Navy at the time. That pretty much means I'm eligible for enlistment. I didn't, that's all that means. I'm not going to look it up because I looked it up before, but I'm making this video and I'd have to go back and Google it and everything. But you can Google it and find out for yourself.
I'm sure a troll hater will look it up. However, trolls and haters, I would remind you that the JHJ code does not necessarily apply to me in total.
Let me explain the JHJ code and why it applies to you in total. These codes, if you look at the other ones, they're very short. They're just real short, just a short statement. They make them as least amount of words as possible. They have hundreds of these codes, so each code is real general in what it says. It says unsatisfactory performance. That's what he got booted out for. They don't give the reason. It says reasons unknown because they don't give you the actual reason. They're not going to make a code for a guy who doesn't take a shower, which is probably one of VonHELLton's problems because he doesn't take a shower now. He has poor hygiene, and so he probably didn't have very good hygiene when he was in the military, and that may have something to do with him getting kicked out. It could be any number of reasons, but it was basically his unsatisfactory performance. His performance wasn't satisfactory, and that's why he got booted out. That's why he washed out. That's a washout code right there, if anything is.
There are certain aspects of the JHJ code that do apply. There are certain aspects that do not apply. Okay, so researching the JHJ code to your heart's content is not going to help you, trolls.
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
Is my DD-214 or a portion thereof. I'm obviously not going to show you my entire DD-214, so you can go fuck yourself.
And why won't you? I showed my entire DD-214 except for my social security number. I showed it all. If you look in past films, I showed every bit of it. What are you ashamed of? What are you trying to hide? That's the only reason you won't show it, because you're trying to hide something. You claim you have ribbons, but you can't show me these ribbons. Here's my ribbons. I still have them. Look how old they are. They're kind of looking like they're, been through a lot of hell. But at least I got some ribbons. I even got a star, which means I got that ribbon twice. Oops. Well, you see the one with the star in it. But anyway, I got ribbons. My DD-214 reflects all my ribbons. One ribbon I didn't get, and anybody who served in the military will know, was a ribbon that's not showing. It shows I wasn't totally squared away because I didn't get what is it called? A good conduct medal. Pretty much anybody gets it. A good cookie, they called it. I didn't get a good cookie because I screwed up and got in trouble while I was in the military. But I did my job so well, they weren't going to ever kick me out. I may not have great military bearing, and I told a Marine Corps officer to F off after he smacked me in the back of the head. I guess in the Marines you're allowed to smack people in the back of the head. In the Navy, I was in the Navy. Okay, so when someone smacks me in the back of the head, I tell them to fuck off. You know, you hear her talking like a sailor. Well, I talked like a sailor to a Marine Corps officer, and he didn't take it too well. So I got put on restriction. I was supposed to get reduction of pay, but the payroll officer was a friend of mine, and that never happened. And I can admit it now, but at the time I couldn't say nothing about it. It was hush-hush. So I didn't lose any pay. But I was prevented from going up to rank. I would have been an E4 getting out if I hadn't told a Marine Corps officer to F off. But at least I have more balls than you, VonHELLton. You're a keyboard commando. You tell people to fuck off from behind the keyboard knowing that they're not going to go out there and waste their time coming after you. But I make my claims. I can prove all my claims. You can't prove a single one of them other than the fact that you washed out.
No, Von was not a Navy SEAL. Von did work with the Coast Guard, though. No, Von was not a Navy SEAL.
VonHELLton, you're a shitbag liar. You never served with the Coast Guard, just like you never went to training for years to become a naval officer. And you said, I'm afraid of the water. Oh, I can't swim, so I decided to go into the Army. Yeah, no. If you're trained to be an officer, you would have just trained to be an officer in a different branch of the military. You have to get a college education, so that's proven false. You don't have no paperwork proving you ever served with the Coast Guard, so you never did serve with the Coast Guard. Sorry about your luck. Years before I was in the Navy, years and years before, I think it was like 7, 8 years before I joined the Navy, I served for a little while in the Army National Guard, and that's how I got the Army Service Ribbon. That is proof that I served in the Army. So I got an honorable discharge out of the Army, but I don't have that DD-214 because when I got my DD-214, all I got was the Navy version. The Army version's in my Navy record somewhere, kept in some filing cabinet in some government building somewhere, and I can't get to it. But that's proof right there that I did serve in the Army. Unlike you claiming you served with the Coast Guard or served in the Navy, you never did. Sometimes I say I served with the Marines. I never say I served in the Marines. I always say I served with the Marines because, see right here, 1st MAR Div, FMF, Camp Pendleton. That means 1st Marine Division, Field Medical something, whatever the F means, Field Medical Fucks, I guess, Camp Pendleton. But I did serve with the Marines as a combat medic. The Marines have Navy medics. See, there's the schools I went to, Basic Hospital School, and I also went to Field Medical School. Now, I also went to an EMT school, but that's not listed on there. But these are the dates and times that I went in, and that's how much time I had left after I got out of each school. But I went to my medical school, and then I went to school to learn how to do my medical job with the Marine Corps. Field Medical School, that's what that is. Ask any corpsman, he'll tell you. So to conclude this video, VonHELLton is a Valor thief. He's lied about his military service, exaggerated it, and made a complete ass out of himself. He did get washed out, and him claiming anything other than being washed out or kicked out or thrown out or fired is stolen valor. RE3, JHJ, and under honorable conditions are all the discharges, all you need to know for someone who washed out of the military. Ask any recruiter, ask any career military person, or look it up on Google search. Google that shit, and you'll find out. If you Google it, you'll find out VonHELLton's a Valor thief. And I'm not a Valor thief. I served in the Army for a little while, and then I was out too long, so I lost all my rank and everything that went with the time I was in the Army. Made to E3 in the Army, and then got out, and I was out for a long time, and I went to college and all that, and got married, and then my wife was pregnant, I lost my job, a friend of mine joined the Navy, and I got talked into joining the Navy too. I was 28, 29 years old when I joined the Navy. So I had 2 RE1 discharges. Unlike VonHELLton, who has 1 RE3. VonHELLton never served with the Coast Guard. VonHELLton never went into any officer's military training, and is Sea Cadet. Sea Cadet's like Boy Scouts. It's like a Boy Scout for people who want to play sailor. Hey, sailor, you want to play sailor with me? Join the Sea Cadets. Not really. Some of you guys probably were Sea Cadets. I'm sorry about that. And I only have these many ribbons. You talk to someone who's been in the Air Force for like 4 years, they got like a skyscraper of ribbons. I never did understand that. You see someone in the Air Force and they have like, ribbons all the way up to the top of their neck. Here I served, going overseas and doing all this stuff, and all I got was 2 rows of ribbons. I was supposed to get a ribbon when I got out, which was a impending danger thing, and I never got it, and I asked about it. I don't have it, so I can't wear it, so I can't claim it. If I claimed to be a Navy SEAL, I'd be a stolen valor. Even though I served in the Navy, if I claim anything other than what I did in the Navy, I'd be a stolen valor. VonHELLton's claiming things he did in the military they didn't do. He went through boot camp, he went through AIT, and shortly after AIT, he got to his permanent duty station. He couldn't perform his job, and they just got rid of him because he was too much of a headache. That's what they do. They're like, once you get a permanent duty station and they can't deal with you, they just get you out. Because he's just a hindrance to everybody else trying to do their job, and you got this guy who isn't doing his. It's bad for morale, and he didn't like clean up after himself. And, you got $1 million tanks he's supposed to take care of. If he doesn't clean up after himself, those things will happen to those tanks, and it costs the taxpayers millions of dollars to fix. So, it was to save the taxpayers money that he got kicked out. I don't know exact reasons he got kicked out, because you're never going to get the truth out of him. And Agent 19 wants to lie for him. Agent 19, I haven't made a stolen valor about Agent 19 because I haven't got proof that he claimed he was a Marine. I heard him say it one time in one of VonHELLton's hangouts where he claimed to be a Marine. I served the Marines, and I know damn good and well a little wimpy pussy like the guy who hides behind a mask is not a former Marine. A Marine wouldn't hide behind a mask. A Marine would show you who he was. That's my proof that Agent 19 was never a Marine. I know this video's gone on way too long, and I hope you watched it. And if you watch this video, make a copy of it. If you can fix the sound, get this video out there. Let as many people as you can see this video. If all my other Stolen Valor videos, let everybody see this video. Let VonHELLton make a total ass of himself. He abuses his kids, he abused his wife, he abuses his mother, and he lies about it and blames his problems on everybody else. It's the trolls' fault. No, VonHELLton, it's your fault. You Army washout, you Cold War vet wannabe.